What's up, gang?
Yep.
Hey,
All right, cool. So we got a couple students in here today. They were nice enough to do an interview about their experiences being in Boston stuff. This is Daniel. This is Kadian. They're both from Canada, like a lot
Yep.
of my other students too. I'm just gonna have you guys go one at a time. Just kind of give us a background about like who you guys are and what you were doing before you joined the program. We'll start with Daniel.
So, name's Daniel, 25 years old. Been doing construction, did my own marketing. Like I've kind of had experience in Google Ads and stuff. I've tried every side hustle you can think of, bro. I've done drop shipping for like a year, got banned on Facebook, made like $100. I tried stocks, affiliate marketing, copywriting, basically anything you can think of. And then I saw one of Dan's videos and I started SMMA. And yeah, ever since then, we've been doing it for like a year now. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of being lazy. But after working with Dan, things kind of shifted and I actually had like a system to work with, you know? That's kind of my background.
So you're doing construction. You were like, I'm trying to make money online. You tried everything.
I've always been trying to make money online, man. Like ever since I was like 16, 17, I'm 25. And I knew there was always a way. I just kept failing and failing and failing every time. And then eventually when I got into SMMA, I kind of realized the reason I'm failing is because I just kind of gave up, right? So with SMMA specifically, I decided to actually commit to it, even if like I don't get results for a while, which did happen before I met Dan. So that's kind of my background, yeah.
nice. And for me, like same, my name's Kadian, 25 years old as well. Kind of a similar kind of story. Like I'm not in construction, of course, but I mean, a couple years ago, like I've been trying to do a couple of online things like drop shipping as well. That didn't really work out. Um, Try to do like a YouTube channel, but that didn't work out as well. But eventually came over like to SMMA where it was like, okay, I kind of wanted to do like a little agency kind of thing. And then I didn't have anybody around me like-minded until Daniel kind of came up to me and was like, "Yo, why don't we try to do this together?" And I was like, "It's way better than doing it by myself, right?" So we kind of connected like that, and then ended up starting that way. But before we were kind of like he said, like lazily doing it. I was working at my job full time, and I was like, okay, kind of half in, half out. That's probably why it took a little bit longer, but eventually we kind of joined on with the boss program and we're like, okay, let's try and take it a little bit more serious. And then from there, it kind of started to change, right? But yeah, no, that's basically the background for me.
And so from what I understand too is, and it's been so long that you guys have been in Boss, but how, like, wasn't it the case that like one of you was skeptical before joining the program?
Yeah, so
That was me.
that was him, yeah. Because me, I'm very like shiny object. I'm very into buying programs, courses, all that. And I remember actually a little background. I remember calling Kenny one day. I'm like, "Yo, you want to start a marketing agency?"
Yeah.
That's how it all started. Good idea. But yeah, like I was watching like Jordan Lee. I was watching a bunch of SMMA guys, the typical ones, and then nothing was working because we didn't actually know like how to do anything. And then I was watching your videos, and then I remember using your cold calling script specifically, and it actually did kind of work. So I'm like, if I and one of my buddies, he's also an online guy. He's like, bro, you should find a mentor. First thing you gotta do is get a mentor that knows what he's doing. So then I called Katie and I'm like, yo, there's this guy, Dan, on YouTube, man. He offers mentorship. I literally booked a call before telling him. I'm like, we got a call on this day. And then he was a little skeptical, and then we got on a call, and obviously you sold us because you're a good seller, bro.
Yeah, bro. I got on the call and I was like, oh, okay, let's hear what he has to say. And then
Yeah,
like 5 minutes in, I'm like, okay, no, he knows what he's talking about. And he's like,
yeah,
okay, well, let's get started. And then I signed right there. No like follow up, none of that, bro. I was like,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, because you showed us how it was gonna be done. And I was like, okay, well,
I
he
still remember. Yeah,
sounds very genuine, yeah.
I still remember the close. He's like, "So how are you paying today? Cash or debit or something like that?" I'm like,
Yep.
that's how you know.
Bro.
That's how you know he's a good seller, though. And yeah, it was sick.
So see, look, because it's crazy when people tell me that, because I feel like when I talk to people in Boss, like I try anything to not get them to join Boss because it's not for
Yeah,
everybody. Like
Mhm.
y'all started watching the free stuff, right? I post everything that I've done for free on YouTube, right? Like you could have
yeah.
implemented that, but you guys wanted to join the program, right? So like why join Boss rather than just like doing the free stuff? Because it's all the same, right?
Yeah, well, it's figuring it all out, man. Like in my opinion, the hard part of SMMA and just any business in general is not having like a system or a guideline on what to do. You know what I mean? When you're watching the free stuff, like yeah, you get the scripts and all, but like you don't have an exact system or exact framework you can actually follow that you know someone else has done that actually works for you, right? So it just kind of like we went from like this progress all the way like this, and it kind of just like made things easier, you know?
Yeah.
Hmm. And to build on that too, it's like the access to the actual coaching too.
Yeah.
Like getting your feedback was very important in the process as well. Because if not, we were just gonna be running in like circles and loops, right? And then seeing that kind of help there was very beneficial as well.
Yeah. And like it's been like a year and like 8 months. I wouldn't even count the 8 months because we're kind of like, you know what I mean? It was an idea. But literally the first week of Boss, using your cold calling scripts in Solar, I booked a meeting the second day. If I was where I'm at now, I probably could have sold them. But we booked one meeting in the second day, and then Kadian booked, and we almost closed the guy through Facebook
Yeah.
DMs using your system. That was like in week one. So like it was very
Yeah.
clear that having a mentor was important, you know?
And you were trying
Hmm.
to learn a lot in the beginning, right? Like you said, like, hey,
Yeah.
if I had the skills I had now, I would have been a lot better at that time. So
Yeah.
For sure.
we started working on this HVAC offer for you guys though, like what is it, like a month ago?
Yeah. Yeah. We started
Yeah.
HVAC a month ago. Yeah.
So every time we started something, it was like, okay, let's put the brakes, let's put the brakes, let's put the
Yeah.
brakes. Like, hold on, let me first, right? And so I
Yeah.
kept trying to push you guys, I feel like a little bit, but when you finally made the decision, you were like, bro, I'm running ads, I'm doing the shit. Let's get it cracking. At that point, that's when we started to see those results, right? So like you were
Yeah.
running
Hmm.
ads, like we worked together one on one, running these ads, making sure you're getting good results. And what was the first thing we did? I looked at the numbers and I was like, okay, so the leads are going through. What's up with sales? And like me and you, Daniel, kind of had like an intervention with Katie, and we are like, bro, Katie, and like
Yeah.
we got to do some sales training. Like the leads are coming
Yeah.
in. Like what's going on? So, like genuinely, it's probably been like a month since you guys started this offer. Like talk about the results that you've had with this offer so far.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to
Yeah.
start
Go
with the
ahead.
ads first,
Yeah,
no, start with the
I'll
ads
start.
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll start with ads. So February, so we didn't niche down enough. We've been running ads for since February 11th, 12th. It's like what, April? So 2 months, 3 months, somewhere around there. Yeah, so first month we were kind of doing broad, like we didn't niche down enough and a lot of unqualified leads. And then Dan's advice got into HVAC. Again, we kind of fucked up a bit in the beginning because we were targeting like New Zealand, like Australia, all these kind of countries, which were pretty bad leads. And then like just this month, we changed the offer with Dan's help. We changed the offer up, and then we're getting way more qualified leads. We're spending less time chasing leads, and we're actually getting a lot more deposits, and we're actually like closing now, right? So that's been our
Yeah.
experience. 2 months of really shit. Like the ads performed well, but bad leads. And this month specifically, like past literally just the past 7 days, it's been like game changing for us.
Yeah, and then to build on that too, like he was saying, like as soon as we kind of dialed in, like after that intervention, I was like, okay, yeah, we gotta step it up a bit. Like I gotta start practicing this script, doing it in proper order, and then we kind of went back and forth, me and Dan, both of them actually, to kind
Both
of
ends.
like practice the sales objections, like the initial discoveries, all the way up until the actual sales call. And from that kind of training, it was able to kind of like streamline like all the leads that we kind of brought in, and then using that, we were able to kind of like close those leads, right? Like I got them on the sales call, and then it allowed us to even close a 13K deal in payment in full exactly, right? So it's like that training back and forth kind of like gave me the confidence to actually close those deals on the calls, right? So yeah, no, the skills that he was teaching us there is like game changing completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So you were running
okay,
ads.
can
Yeah.
I have one
Right.
more note though?
Yeah.
The number one thing that that I appreciate Dan for is that he's always gonna help you if you actually come to him for help. You know,
Okay.
like
That's where I was gonna go. That's the
Yeah.
as a mentor, no joke. The most important thing is like courses are cool and all, and like strategies are cool, but it's having someone who can actually tell you what to do, how to do it, and hold you
Hmm.
accountable and help you when you're fucking up. And that's kind of like the magic of having a mentor who knows what he's doing, right?
No, that's
Hmm.
exactly where I was gonna go with it. Like y'all were doing the ads, we refined a little bit more, we refined a little bit more, we refined a little bit more. Then you guys closed a $500 deal.
Yep.
Then we were
Yep.
like, hey, let's try this pricing, $13,000 deal.
Yeah, just changing a few words, man. That's all it was.
So, and that's what's really hard to convey to new people, right? Like some people that are
Yeah.
watching this, like they're maybe curious about Boss, maybe like they're trying to start their own agencies, and they're like, bro, like how are these kids closing $13,000 deals? Like
Yeah.
it's hard to fathom before you actually hit it, right? Like it's not that hard once you get it, and then you're like,
Yeah.
damn, that wasn't even hard. So like I feel like it's really hard for new people to kind of see that full process when they haven't even gone through it. So like if for somebody that's like brand new watching it and they're kind of going through like maybe the same struggles that you guys went through, like we were going for like a year kind of lazily doing it, like,
Yeah.
and then once we started grinding, that's when the results really started coming in. So for somebody that's barely starting out, like what, I guess, advice would you give to someone that doesn't really see the full path?
Well, number one is get a mentor, dude. Like you're gonna actually you're really gonna you're shooting yourself in the foot by not having a mentor because they're just gonna streamline and help you out, and it's gonna suck ass. You're probably gonna, if you want to do some free trials, you can do that, like get some experience. But in the end of the day, it's really having someone who can teach you, so you can not only learn from them but from their mistakes, and they can point out your mistakes too. I think having a mentor is honestly the best thing you could do if you're starting any kind of business, not just SMMA.
And then to build on top of that, it's not just that alone, but it's also putting in 100% from the jump. Like we were
Mm.
saying, like we were going back and forth, picking different niches, going back and forth. But if we just stuck with one thing 100% and just put all
Yeah,
of our energy into that and focus, then we would have been here a lot faster, right? It was just kind of like the doubt. Instead of
yeah,
having the doubt in ourselves, we should have just continued on what we were doing. And then, of course, just listening to the strategies and making corrections when necessary. That's probably the
yeah,
main things.
yeah. You gotta lock in seriously from the jump, because like no one's gonna change your life for you. Like you
Mhm.
either take the pill or you don't. You gotta go all in. And if we actually locked in like this a year ago, definitely would have gotten here like way faster. But there's timing for everything, so we're here now.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly. Like even me, like I had a full-time job before this, and then I only started putting in 100% as soon as I left that, right? So,
It was December 25th or 6th.
yeah, so
I
December, and
remember
then
that.
now we're kind of what are we now, April, and we're
Hey,
starting to
bro.
see those results coming in, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, it's still kind of
Yeah.
surprising, right?
Yeah.
So what's next? Like we're doing the HVAC niche. We got like like a huge ass client that came in. We had the other client that came in. What's next for you guys? Are you gonna keep going in HVAC, or like where do you see the agency going in the next like 3 to 6 months?
Yeah. Squeezing. We're gonna definitely pay it as HVAC only. Squeeze the fuck out of it. Sorry, I don't know if you can swear, but and then like eventually, like we want to become like a construction broad agency, but the goal is like 100 to 200K a month, like minimum, to be honest.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
For
just
you, what's
so
that like 10 clients at this rate?
I don't know. I'm working on some other stuff. I'm gonna have different kind of offers like for brokies and like because we're losing right now we're doing paid ads. And if you use it the 80/20 rule, um, you know, only 20% will be somewhat qualified. From those, maybe 10 will be super qualified. From those 10%, you close maybe like five. I don't know. You know what I mean? So there's like 80% of the pie that we have that we're not using. So right now I'm trying to find a way to use them and make money off of them.
hmm
And that's like the few months goal. Right now we're just cranking on paid ads. Kadian's becoming a killer salesman. Let's get some more deals going, you know?
Yep, that's the plan.
If it ain't
All right.
broke, don't fix it, you know?
So you genuinely believe like you'll be able to hit that 100K within 3 to 6 months?
I'd say like a year from now. 2 months of like grinding, and then I think we'll see though. We'll see how far the paid ads gets, you know? Because with paid ads alone, you can get to like 50K pretty, not easily,
Oh
but
yeah.
it's
No,
possible.
no, it's the speed.
hmm
Yeah, it's definitely about the
Yeah.
speed. Like it just allows you to scale much faster.
Yeah, and cold calling works. You can get appointments through cold calling, DMs. We have a guy doing DMs for us right now. It also works. The thing is, the beauty of like learning from that and SMMA in general, you're kind of learning not marketing specifically, but how to run a business and how to get leads for businesses and for yourself. Basically, you will never be broke again, right?
Pretty much. I mean, these skills are something that you can apply to like different
Any
industries
niche,
and
bro. Yeah.
literally any kind of
Exactly.
business. So, SMMA is a beginner, business model. It's kind of like skiing, right? Where it's like easy to learn, hard to master.
Yeah.
It's like this is a good stepping
Yeah.
stone. And if you do
hmm
want to take it to 7 figures or multiple 6 figures or whatever, like there's people that have done that. You know, there's a
Yeah.
pathway that people can do that. It depends on how far you want to go. You know, some people end up hating agency and they go to software, they go to coaching, but it's still all the same exact stuff that you learned. You just apply it for that niche or
Yep.
that industry, right? So, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, guys, like I said, I appreciate you guys doing the interview. I want to ask one last question too. Like, there's a lot of people watching that are skeptical and like they've been burnt before in so many different coaching programs. Like, what do you say to those guys who are watching and like are kind of on the fence about joining Boss?
Yeah, so I'll jump in there first because like I said at the start, like I was the one that was mainly skeptical, right? And that's because I like to see the numbers and all that. But I mean, once you kind of like see all of the testimonials and case studies that you had on your YouTube, right? The free content alone is gonna be able to scale you guys up. But like actually getting the information like hand to hand, kind of like one-on-ones like this, and the community and the feedback, you're gonna see pretty quickly that okay, well these guys are able to actually help me and I can help them as well by giving back. So it's like take the jump. You gotta believe in yourself and kind of
Yeah.
just like go for it really.
Yeah, to build on that, I think you should only invest in someone you get value from, like beforehand. In your case, like just go to YouTube, go to his YouTube channel, man. Like he's pretty transparent. He literally gives you
Exactly.
the cold calling script in his YouTube channel is the one we use, and it has worked. I have like 2 appointments last week with it. That enough gets you results. So if you get value from someone for free, I think that's more than enough proof that you can actually invest in them.
Exactly.
All right. Well, yeah, that's it. You know, I just wanted to talk about, you know, your experience in Boss and just kind of like what you guys were doing before and like the transition to that. So again, I appreciate y'all for, you know, doing the interview and like sharing your story with other people that might be interested too. So that's really it. You know, I just want to say one last thing for the people watching, like it is possible. And if you're new in 2024, there's always going to be opportunity for people in SMMA. A lot of people don't want to do it because they're like, oh, it's saturated. And your favorite guru is telling you not to do it, even though they themselves run an agency. Um, so yeah, that's it. I just want to say again, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you all for doing this interview.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thanks for
everything.
having us.
All right.
Yeah.